Hello and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how I recreated this beautiful dress from start to finish. So here is my recreation. You can see my clients there dancing and looking so good in our dress. So I made some changes to the original style, but I'm going to be showing you how I did that. So let's just get right to it. So this video is in two parts, so I'm going to be dropping in the comment section the cutting part of this video so you can check it out, so get familiar with how we started the pattern cutting. So here is the sewing of the video. So I'm starting with the front part of the dress. So this is the bust part, this is the bustier part. So I went in to add stay to the main fabric. This is the main fabric, so you're going to be adding stay, and you're also going to be cutting a hard interfacing like wadding. So you're going to be cutting it the way I did in this video, and you're going to be joining the dots together. So depending on how much allowance you added, which in this tutorial we used ½ inches, so we're going to be sewing in our ½ inches for the dart allowance. So just watch the way I am doing it, and you're just going to carefully sew in your darts like that. So once I was done sewing in the darts, you're going to go in to notch the under bust. So once you will notch the under bust, the reason for notching the under bust is just to make that under bust area more relaxed. So once you notch the under bust, you're going to go in to open up your wadding like that on that sewing area, that part that is sewed. You're going to open up the wadding, you're going to separate it from the fabric like that. So you're going to be cutting it off. So once you cut it off, you're going to have something like this. The reason why I cut mine off is because I want it to relax very well once I sew it. I don't want that part to be bulky, so that's why I always try to cut it off. So here I've not gone to iron it, I'm just showing you what it looks like. So you're going to be ironing that dark line out, you're going to be using your bust arm to iron it out. So once you have done that, this is the lining part of the front part of the dress. So for the lining part, I just used stay for the lining. I went ahead to use the Ankara to also cut the lining. You can use normal lining fabric if you don't have Ankara. So here I'm just drawing my boning lines. I want to create boning channels. I want to create bones on the lining part of the bust area. So if you don't want bones, you can skip this step, but if you want bones, the bone is just going to give you more structure, so you can go ahead and add bonings to it like that. If you want to understand more about this boning, how to cage the bustier, you can, I'm going to be dropping another link to another video, so you're going to see everything in my comment section. So just go through the videos. So because I don't want this video to be too long, I try as much to skip the videos that are already on my channel. So once I caged it, I went ahead to add fiber to the lining as well. If you look at the lining part, I already covered the boning with fiber, so there's another video for that as well, so you can just check it out to see how you can cover your bones with fiber. Is actually called fleshing. So you're going to cover it with fiber like that on the lining parts. So just follow the way I did this, and once you're done with that, you're going to be sewing in the yoke for the front part. So that is my yoke. So I went in to cut 2 pieces for the net. So if you follow the first tutorial, which is the cutting part of this this dress, you would know that yoke, we labeled it as net. So as you can see in the thumbnail as well, the yoke has net, chantilly net. So we're going to be turning it because we cut two. So I went in to turn the neckline. So once I turn the neckline, I'm going to be sewing it on my main fabric like that. So how I this is a method I use in turning my yoke. So I'm going to first sew in the yoke on the main fabric first. So you sew in one side, you start from the mid part, that is the mid part of the neckline. So you carefully move it so you get to the last part like that, the way I'm doing in this video. So once you're done sewing that, you just sew the other parts the same way. So you can see this is what it was looking like once I was done sewing the nets on the main fabric. So you're going to go in with your scissors to notch. So just be careful, just notch carefully. So once you're done notching, you're going to bring your lining and you're going to flip your nets like that. So your net is going to be in the middle of the two, the main fabric and the lining. So you can see I went ahead to just slightly pin the nets to the main fabric so it doesn't move while I'm sewing. So I'm just going to be going in with my sewing like that once I know that I've secured the nets down. So you can go in with your hemming gum at this point to just make it more relaxed. So once I was done with that, I'm still going to go into notch. Remember, I've not notched the lining part. So once I notch the lining part, I'm just going to be turning it to the right side and I'm going to be ironing it. So that is just what I did for the neck part for this tutorial. So you can see I'm just trying to show you what it looks like once I was done turning. So I'm going to go ahead to iron it now. So here I've gone to iron it, so you can see how neatly pressed it is. The neckline is relaxed and smooth, just the way we want it to be. So I'm just showing you what it looks like. So you can see how neat it is. I'm going to be showing you the inside as well. So that is just that for the front part. That is the upper part of the dress. So now to go to the back part. So we're going to, so that is our yoke for the back. So you can see is labeled net. So we're going to be sewing the neckline only. So I went into only sew the neckline. So I cut 4 pieces of the net because I'm going to be using it to turn each other. So you're going to place your Ankara fabric like that. You place the net on it and you're going to use the lining to turn it like that. So the net is going to be in the middle of the 2 pieces. So you're going to place your hemming gum on the lining and you're going to sew it. I think we all know the work of the hemming gum at this point. So once you're done sewing, you're just going to turn the sides and you're going to make sure you iron properly. So you can see how I am doing it step by step, so that the net, I'm moving the net so it can go with the neckline very well. So here is one part of the back, so you can see how what is looking like. So that's the second part. I'm going to go in to just use a loose stitch to just hold the two together, because I'm going to be placing a zip in that later on. So I just want to hold it down so that I can join my sides together. So I'm going to be joining the upper parts together, that is the front and the back for the upper parts of the dress together. So before that, I went in to join the shoulder together. So here is what it was looking like at this stage. So now I'm going to be joining the sides. So you want to go in with your sewing allowance that you added in your pattern, or while you were cutting your fabric. So I added like around 1.5 inches to mine, so I just went into all that, so you can see how it's looking like. So the next thing to do is to try to add the cape to the dress. So you can see on the thumbnail that the style has like a exaggerated cape. So I'm just going to be measuring where I want my cape to sit. So you can see the measurements I have there. So now I'm just going to be I want to try and draw how I want my cape to be like. So I'm going to be using the flounce method to do this. So now I'm just drawing my flounce, so you just follow the way I'm doing it. So I'm just drawing my flounce to try to create the cape on the dress, on the upper parts of the dress. So if you look at my fabric, you will see that it is folded into two. That means that I'm going to be using one part for one side and the other part for the other side. It's going to be on two sleeves. So now I'm just going in to measure the cape, the flounce round, so it can accommodate the previous measurements that I measured on the body of the dress. So remember, I needed around so that was where my measurement stopped, where I marked the chalk. So I'm just going to be adding extra allowance because we're going to be pleating some parts of the cape. So I just went in to cut it like that. So once you're done cutting, you're going to cut the same thing with the lining piece. So I used a different fabric for the lining piece. So I used a black fabric for the lining piece, so black plain fabric. So once you're done cutting that, you're going to be adding interfacing. But before we do that, I just want to I went ahead to place my flounce on the dress. I just wanted to see how it was going to look like at the end of the day when I was done sewing. So you're just going to place it like that. So you can see I'm trying to pin it. I started from the back, so I'm just trying to pin it to see how it's going to look like later. So you can see there's some excess there, so I went in with my scissors to just trim off the excess so the shape can align, it can give me what I want. So once I was done doing that, I'm going to be flipping it to the front part, and I'm going to I'm going to try and place the front part as well. So if you look at the shoulder has split as well. So I'm just going to go in with my pin. Remember, we have not sewn it, we're just trying to see how it's going to look like at the end of the day. So this step is very, very important. So once I'm done with this step, I'm just going to be adding my interfacing depending on what you want. So here I used a soft interfacing, and I also went in with my lining. So you're going to be turning it with your lining. I'm going to be showing you that later on. So you can see what we have here. Oh, okay, I think I used the ankara to cut the lining piece as well. So I didn't use a plain black fabric like in the thumbnail, so I used the ankara to cut the lining piece. So you can see I added interfacing to both parts of the ankara. So you're just going to go into weave the edges like that. So once you're done, remember this is just for one part of the cape, so you're going to be doing the other parts the same way. So once I was done weaving the edges like that, so I just went into start sewing it on my dress. So you can see starting from the front, so I'm just going to start sewing it. So you just need to take your time and try to get the desired shape that you want. Once I start sewing like that, remember I already pinned it earlier on, so I already know what I'm going for. So once I get to the shoulder, I'm just going to be pleating it. So you can see that's the shoulder part. So I just went in to pleat it on the shoulder part, and after I pleated on the shoulder parts like 2 pleats. So once I get to the back area, I'm just going to be pleating that side as well, so it forms the shape that I want. So that is just what I did for that part. So you can see how I'm just carefully making it align. So once I was done with that, so that is what I have there. So you can see how it's looking like. And go ahead to use your iron to just slightly press on the parts that you sew. Don't try to press on the flare part so it doesn't relax too much. So here is what it was looking like. So you just go ahead and do the other side the same way. So once I did the other side, I'm going to be showing you what it looks like. So that's just it. So you can see how beautiful it's looking and how neat it's looking as well. So here is the video of the dress on the mannequin. So you can see I've done the other side here. So that's just what it was looking like. So just go ahead and fix the inner sleeve on the armhole and you're done. You just fix your down parts as well, depending on what type of down parts you want. Thank you.